Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can continue to see my content as I put it out on YouTube. Alright, so the details for the first card that I'm making were just shown on the screen. We're making fancy layer cake cards today. I cut my card base for the 5 by 7 card, and now we're cutting the base layer, which is an oval, and I don't have any oval dies, so we're using these old school layer cutters. The cardstock that I'm using is Nina Creative Collection Metallic, and this one is the Chalice Silver. I'm probably saying that wrong. And then these are just scraps that I had of the white gold, or maybe champagne pearl. I don't know. They look so close to me. But the layer sizes on this are 3" by 1". 1" by 2.5 inches, and then 2" by 1". And I corner rounded all the corners, and then I'm building a cake, a base. And this was the same width, so 3 inches, as the bottom layer of the cake. And I'm just putting it on a little sort of a triangle of scrap cardstock that was white, and I'm going to round 2 of the corners. I honestly had no idea what I was doing here. I just played around until I liked how it looked. And then because I wanted this one to be a little fancy, after I rounded the corners and cut it down to what I thought was an acceptable size so it looked like a cake plate, then I decided to get a doily out of my stash and make it a little fancy by gluing a doily on the bottom there. You'll see that coming up in just a second. Oh, here come the doilies. Yep, I've had those for forever. And they're from the cake section at like Walmart probably, or Michael's. I don't even know. But there, I just cut that. One word of advice I would say after putting the whole card together is put a lot of glue on the back of that doily, like everywhere, because it started popping up in the teeny tiny spots that I had not put any glue down on it. That's the only issue that I had with it after I put it on. It looked really pretty, but the corners started popping up just because I hadn't put enough glue all over it. I kind of just eyeballed how it needed to be, and then I glued it on. I think it fancied it up a little bit, just enough to make it look less basic. And there I am, just trying to fix it up so it looks right for the base of the cake plate. Alright, and we're using the Make Art Station. We're going to glue it together and use the magnets to hold it on. Gluing is such a time-consuming thing when you want to make sure you get everything precisely in the right location. Alright, and I love being able to speed up everything so it seems like I craft super fast, but in fact I do not. So there we are, rounding the corners on all 3 layers of the cake so that they look real pretty. Gluing the base of the cake plate on, and then we're going to stack the layers so that we know where everything should go. I love this trick. I figured it out myself actually. I have this T-square ruler, and I use my rectangle Misty magnet on the T-square ruler to keep it in place, so that I can like stack my layers on it, and the magnet will help the T-square ruler stay in place so that what's underneath of it will dry and nothing will move. So it helps me keep everything in alignment while stuff dries, and I get everything so it doesn't look all wonky. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a wonky cake, but I wanted a precisely level cake, and I did the best I could. There we are, using all the magnets to get the cake to stay in place. Super speed crafting is the best. And at this point I realized that I liked it, but I didn't like it enough, so I was going to put a layer on there with I did a punch, and a border punch, and it punches out little hearts. And I did a whole bunch of sections of that, and it looks really awesome. And then I corner rounded it in the same length as all the layers of the cake. I think that top layer just needs to still be, oh yeah, all the layers still need to be corner rounded, but they all get corner rounded so they fit precisely on the pieces of the cake. and then they also get glued down. In hindsight, I probably would have done a different color than the background oval that I put the cake on, but I think it looked pretty cool. It helps it stand out a little bit because the cake is on top of the gray layer, but I like it. And in looking at the cake, I'm pretty confident that it is the champagne pearl from that metallic pack of Nina cardstock. I think I got it at like an office supply store, maybe like Office Depot or something a long time ago. I don't know. And then this is for my son's little friend who's turning 5 on her birthday. So we did a number 5. I did a whole bunch of layers of white cardstock so that the 5 can have a bunch of dimension. And I just die cut them repeatedly and glued them all together. And then I put the sparkly silver 5 on. I love the way the card turned out. I do need some suggestions for new glitter cardstock. And this is the smaller one I did on an A2 card base. So there's the dimensions for the layers that I did. The layers for the 5x7 card are all in the my design plans at the beginning of the video. And if you want to screenshot it or whatever, you just pause the video and take a screenshot on your phone. Got a corner around all the pieces for the cake. Super speed crafting here. It still seems like it takes a long time. When I'm making a card, it never really feels like that much time. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I end up spending 35 minutes making this? But you just got to cordon around all the pieces so that it looks cute. I could have left it rectangles, but I liked it better this way because I felt like it made it a little more fun. Because let's be real, cakes aren't square. Not usually anyways. And so this one, I wasn't planning on doing a number on top of it, so that's why I decided to make it so close to the top of the oval that I chose. And I used decorative scissors to cut this one. That first piece was a little bit wonky, so this time I decided to draw a straight line on the piece of scrap cardstock that's in pink, and so I could cut along that line so that my decorative edging for the cake wouldn't be so uneven, because it's really hard to keep those decorative scissors on a straight line. I don't know why. And so this worked better. Drawing the little line, that helped, definitely. And then I was struggling to figure out which side I wanted to use, I guess, so of the decorative scissors. And just cut it into all the length of the pieces of cardstock for the layers of cake. And I have to round the corners on this. There we go. Got to make sure they fit right. Because, you know, got to measure twice, cut once. That's the goal anyways, so it doesn't take forever and then some. Even in like double speed, this still feels like it takes way too long. Oh, my piece wasn't big enough, so now I gotta cut a new one. And there we go, rounding the corners. This is the good thing about paper scraps, is you don't feel so bad when you mess them up and they're not right. Yeah, there I'm trying to make sure it's the right length. Oh, there we go, close enough. On to the second layer. And, yep, close enough. And there's the third layer, gluing it down. I like the contrast between the dark pink and the light pink. That looks really cool. Those are definitely colors I would do again together. And the silver background, also a good choice. I love that you could do this color combination, or this combination with like any color you want. Now we're on to building candles. And apparently I forgot to cut out the background noise. I hear my daughter's TV in the background. She's probably watching Blippi or something. Alright, there's the little candle flame thing. And now we're cutting a little purple candle. We're going to go glue the flame onto the candle. I'm going to draw some lines on the candle so it looks pretty and complete. And then we're going to glue that onto the top of the cake. and I love it. It's going onto its card base now. Just got to make sure it's even. Use our Make Art Station magnets to hold it down. Beautiful. I love it. And then I decided I wasn't done. It needed a greeting. So I got out this happy birthday set. And at first I tried to mask off part of the stamp with a Post-it note. That didn't work. So I just very carefully only put ink on part of it and stamped it down. And it worked great. Which is good because I should have done that part first in case it didn't work right. But there we go. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.